and for you, because however you've come to along my channel, you might not know a little bit about my history and my story. So I've been filling out this questionnaire I filled out for my friends. I'm about to get some shots done, professional shots from my friend who's a photographer, and for the brand, for me, and as I am the brand, I had to fill out this questionnaire, and it's quite interesting. The questions that she put, I thought it might be interesting for you guys as well. She's really extensive, very professional, and I'd highly recommend her. I'll put her details on this link to this video. So she put, what does your business do? What is your services or products? And people ask this all the time. I put, I cover so much in my business, so I try and break it down for you. Qigong, energy movement, meditation, light language activations, which are like sound meditations with movement, guiding people through an experience, and coaching, memberships and members, and various creative processes to get the people to connect and free the minds. So getting out of the head and into the heart, or said another way, more reframing what is in the head and connecting it through the heart, redirecting it through the heart. I've created products that I'm in the process of getting manufactured, that are all natural and eco-friendly, vegan-friendly, and other stuff in the works that I'm still in the planning stages. And I have lots and lots of things that are ready to be manufactured, but I didn't want them to just be printed, just be this. It had to be vegan, locally sourced. So I've spent a lot of time researching that, and a little hobby of mine is Nature Fan Live Lovely page, and I kind of champion other businesses in that. I do card readings, teach. I'm a qualified Reiki master, and I'm also studying kinesiology. I'm trained in NLP, FLP, and TFT, which are all modalities to help shift mindset. I was thinking, what else did I list? I think I did this in a little about me, but that's how I answered that one. Why are you passionate, or so passionate about the work you do? What's your story? So here is my story, guys. My mother suffered with her mental health, so I got into mindfulness through meditation and wanting to help others because of what had happened to my mum. As I was a child at the time, I was unable to help, so showing others how to stand in their power and understand themselves is a passion. I obviously also realised this when I was younger, and I was sharing my own experience of what had happened to me with another friend who had had a similar childhood abuse experience, had been sexually assaulted, and I had kind of worked through this on my own, and of my own healing, and this was like from very young. I felt like, okay, well, I've dealt with that, what's this about? And didn't kind of seek professional help, if you like. But was very aware that, not in the moment, but looking back, that when I saw it happening, oh, this has happened to my friend as well, is one of the reasons I gave a statement to the police at the time. I really wanted to help. I wanted my story of what happened to me to reframe it. Even as a child, I was back then, though I hadn't realised, there was an element of me wanting to help, and wanting to show others, actually, we can take that power back that had been taken away. So that's kind of when it sparked in me to want to help others in that way. So to kind of feel like that my experience could help them relate. I feel, and there was other things that happened obviously through childhood and learnings, and again, realising that that could help. I feel a deep, profound connection to nature and the planet, and I try to live my life and my work through guiding principles and values of living in connection with nature, and the deep, profound connection we have within, like, light language, or love language as I call it, has been a natural progression of that deep connection. I have an expression of frequency and vibration getting out of our heads and into our hearts. I've always been creative and studied art at university along with textile design. I had another career as a retoucher and a graphic designer, sort of from those backgrounds. And now I teach others to weave the life and create life they want in its highest form. But tell me about the ideal client. So who is my ideal client? Is the issue. Why do they value, what do they value, and what are they struggling with? I always find this hard to answer, as most have an ideal client, their ikigai guy, and I've never really had that. Mine is people that are on a spiritual journey, that are wanting to transform their life in some way. So meaning their body, their mental state and mindset. This could be through their bodies, wanting to move their bodies again with the help and the aid of Qigong, or older, or to shift their mindset and make changes, letting go of stress and anxiety and living more harmoniously and a healthy and well-being life, like in accordance to teaching people tools, people that want a structure that they can use, the ethos of Qigong, the practice of meditation, the structures and the philosophies behind that is all about being in the wholeness of the body and wellness of the body. So lots of like to YouTube for energy readings, that I like to think of us energy weather, looking at how we can work with the natural cycles and rhythms of our life and time, and what I call that frequency. Like when I talk about energy, I believe like we create our own reality. So people will say, well, why would you do a card readings then? For me, it's about the collective energy. It's kind of like a weather pattern, if you like. You might say, oh, it's a bit cloudy today, so I'm going to take an umbrella today and I'm going to have fun in the rain. It's not about, so things are going to still come up in life, but it's about how we react to them. Well, rather than reacting, how we can flow with them and be in flow. So I thought that was quite a nice question. How is your business run and how do you find, and I've put through Google, you can find me on Google, on Facebook, on YouTube, my Patreon. You can become a Patreon member. You can book readings individually if you weren't aware. Through my Candle Lily post, you can automatically book that without even calling me. It's got up their sessions and you can pay, and does it automatically, books it in a Zoom call through my time zone, of course, because I'm here in the UK. What else did she put about me? These 3 words that describe me. So what do you love, and outside of work? And I've put, still, actually, my work is my life, which because you think that's sad, but I enjoy what I do. That's why I do it. Meditation, movement. I'm vegan. And I think that does cover it, does give people a stereotypical view. I'm not a stereotypical vegan. I do want us to be kind and empathic to that which we put in our body. But I think it's about understanding the energy of things rather than that. But tranquil and adventurous. I love traveling. I love seeing new places. I love connecting with the energy of different parts of the grid. And obviously meditation, movement is a big part of my life. And health and well-being. Connection would have been another word I might have used, but how confident am I on camera? Well, I'm quite happy to be on camera here, but in camera it's a bit different. And what's your brand themes and icons? You may not know it, but in my little branding, if you look closely, there's a little butterfly, which is the symbol of the butterfly. To me, is about transformation. One of the things I suppose I cover in what I do is transformational coach, transforming yourself, but in the sense of going through the journey of that transformation, your metamorphosis, like the caterpillar and the butterfly. It's that blooming flower. It's like a lotus flower, and the gold streaks and is about the gold, the sovereignty, the colors I use. So I have thought through all of these details. I use a lot of as purple in some of my other branding, and then obviously you've got these brush strokes, paint strokes of gold in a lot of my branding if you look on my social media. And that's because obviously the artist, this is about creating, painting and utilizing that in our life. So sum up your brand vibe. Well, I hope my brand vibe is peaceful, connected, grounded and safe, and symbolizing a sense of freedom, you feeling free to be who you are, individually. And I'm told by my members, I hope that I make you feel in the meditations this way as well, that I can take you to this place, this connection, and remind you of the connection that you have, that you can get there yourself. And it's about empowering you to feel connected and realizing that you don't need me. So that we're all connected and that we can co-create as well, and a feeling that in a safe environment to feel that we can be who we are. What is the look, feel and mood of the brand? Tell me about your brand authenticity. Well, it's love authentic me. You may obviously the photo used behind that's of the trees and the light coming through and sun and light, nature, being connected to nature in that syntropic way. I use gold and peachy colours, pinks, gold symbologics of the sovereignty, purples of others. For the same reason, the links to the third eye and the pink for the heart, because it's soft and feminine as well, and that gentleness of nature as the connection to nature. So I use things like gold brush strokes, reminding on the creativity, and sunsets of light as films with enlightenment, that ascension. It's associated with ascension, associated with trees because of symbolism of grounding. And obviously my name is Teresa, grounding. I used to go around, there was an advert out back in the early 90s maybe, that would go, I want to be a tree. I can't even remember what it was advertising, but I used to say it because so it's loving the fact that trees are perfectly aligned. They manifest brilliantly. They're rooted, they're grounded, and they're connected to the light. And that's the symbol as well. And balance. So that grounding and that a balance and a neutral things like beaches and sand, because the ocean, the waves, the energy, and our connection to nature. What's your brand color palette? So I think I mentioned the golds, the peaches, the blacks primarily at the moment. Examples, that's for her, you don't need to know that. Do you have a location in mind? So we were looking at different locations for my shoot, out in nature and castles, and obviously I have my crown that I can wear and the crystals and my beautiful purple cloak that I wore for my wedding. And so we're going to be doing so. Look out for the shots when they start coming. I'm quite excited about doing it. So meditation poses, the qigong poses, and retreats. So if you're someone that lives local, by the way, I am offering a space on a retreat for a testimonial of my up and coming retreats, to take part in the retreats. The dates are not up yet, but if you somewhere on my social, contact me if you are local, that is. Obviously, we're going to be doing this local in person, and for the photographer to take shots and for you to be used and seen in social media. So then that will be a freebie. If you fancy that, then let me know, and I'll let you know the dates. So congratulations, you're one step closer to building the business of your life, of your dreams. I love the way that's worded, and I love how it was very much about client requests, subjects, so just results, because we're weather permitting and the sunset. It's not process of time, so this is all about my stuff, mobile phones, photography style discussion. So archiving, model release. Obviously I'm going to be up there on that. I've agreed to using the shots, so you might see them come up. Okay, so that's me. So why have I done a video on this? Well, one, I'm excited and I wanted to share it in my vlog, but I think it's important to kind of know a little bit about background. So that's just a quick rundown because of going through and doing Helen's questionnaire, the photographer, who I'm excited to work with. But 2, a brand. What is a brand? It's a way, I suppose, of people seeing what we put forth. And like I said, I'm going to be going out in nature, and I love the way the photographer has really sort of in-depthly asked questions about what it is I'm passionate about, why I'm doing what I'm doing and my business, and wants to portray that in a heart-led way. So we're looking at the things that represent that, but it's still symbolism. We're using a lot of symbolism, like we were talking about the trees and the stuff we've grounded, and obviously I use that symbolism in my branding, that we use, that we tap into what people pick up on. But I'm about being authentic, so I wanted everything I do. I question, like it's saying about being sovereignty, but I don't want to go out and mock up pictures. And I look at these lovely brands, which I was asked to do, and look at different shots, and they look lovely, and it does conjure up that the goddess, the natural beauty, and I think that whole a stunning image. And one of the things that I want to address this in this video with the branding, obviously I talk about in the Qigong, you don't need to necessarily be wearing sportswear. Why? Because we don't necessarily get sweaty. We have a little bit with some of the accountability workouts that I've been doing with the members. You want comfortable clothing. So typically having those shots of me doing the Qigong and doing the natural poses, it's going to be staged in a way. And I was like, well, it's the flow, but we're going to work with the retreat, hence why I want to have a retreat where I offer those people can come along, they can try before you buy, if you like, or not buy, but as instead of buying for doing the retreat, they are write the testimonials and be in the marketing shots. So it's a great chance to get in on a freebie. But I wanted it to be real, and actually for me to be teaching as opposed to doing mock shots. Some of them might have to be like, oh, well, that pose looks good, we need that photo. So but I want you to be aware of that actually when you're looking at things, there is a sense of things that have been mocked up. You do see this all the time, and how much of it is natural, how much of it isn't. And so I always question myself as someone that's on a platform like YouTube, that we are publicly, I mean, I'm sitting in the car doing this, and a lot of my shots, I sort of think to myself, well, I haven't made an effort. And we had this discussion today at like a little networking event I was at, and they're saying, oh, well, there's AIs that can do that now. They can even cut out all the ums and things for you. Great. And it looks all polished. But that's not authentic, is it, for me? I've questioned, is that who I want to be? Or because then you're going up against people that all look polished and nice. But I'm hoping that I'm attracting those that want something that is completely straightforward. Like today, my hair is up in my daughter's hairband. It's a little greasy and needs a wash. And what you see is what you get. But I'm speaking from the heart, and it is me. So I had one person commented once when I was on the video and said, I've got jeans on. I'm like, yeah, because I can do my Qigong in jeans. I feel quite comfortable doing them in jeans. I am feeling fine with the bends and everything. I am not the typical, this channel is not an exercise channel. There's hundreds of exercise channels out there. This is not that. Yes, I do Qigong. Yes, we do card readings. And yes, we do vlogs. It's predominantly, actually, I think I put the channel is listed as a vlog. So I share with you my experiences, like I just did, of filling out that questionnaire of my brand. And I'd be really interested, actually, and you can comment on the video below, what are your takes? What do you see this brand as me? How I come across to you? I hope, and I'd like to think that's genuine. Maybe at times, probably, what's the word? Doubting. But yeah, part of what I do is teaching people to get over that, but because I've done and had to break through those barriers myself. in doing what I do, in letting go of my attachments, and I speak quite openly about being open and receptive to abundance and seeing abundance in a different way. For a long time, everything I've done for free, and until I realised that obviously that means I'm devaluing myself. And it has been said to me that I should only be doing, you should only do 10% of what you do should be free. Whereas it's been the other way for me. Probably 10% of what I do is what paid. And I've sort of spoken about this, and I've gotten more comfortable with my relationship with money. Definitely, I feel I have abundance flowing into me, and it comes in different ways. I see abundance all around me. So I think it's important how you portray, how others kind of see you, the energy that you're putting out into the world. And as much as part of me really loves all those wonderful sites that everything looks perfect and the lighting's all wonderful and they look absolutely beautiful. I mean, I don't wear makeup anyway, and they look, what's the word, groomed. But I realised that actually I want to relate and be authentic. And if I was making sure about that all the time, then I wouldn't be speaking from the heart. I'd be too worried. And there are times like now, I'm still conscious of my hair, the fact it's greasy and needs a good wash. And that I've put oil on here and it's kind of gone up there as well. But I'd like to think that you value my honesty, the fact that I am not perfect. We are all perfectly imperfect. And to stress to people, whether it's in your business, if you're growing your business, if you're a coach and following me, I know I get lots of people that follow me that do the same. They kind of, but whatever you're doing, that you're doing it from the heart and just being genuine. So, brand awareness. Who am I? What do I do? I would love to work with you. Happy to book readings. There's loads of places you can do that now. I think the link's the About Me. If you go there, it's got my Instagram, it's got my link tree, different ways of working. And you don't have to be in the UK. You can book, we can do stuff via Zoom. Oop, there we go. Via Zoom, via FaceTime. Yeah, so reach out if you think that you would benefit. So anyway, have a beautiful day and thanks for listening. Thanks for your time. Blessings.